Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody here doing tonight? Man, we're here for a very special episode, guys, of the Beyond the Ring with Big T wrestling podcast here tonight. And I gotta say, we have a very special guest here with us. I'm very pleased and very honored. You guys know how I love to do these interviews and, talk with everybody in the pro wrestling business. And, I have a lot of fun with this. And I gotta tell you, we have a very, very good show here tonight
Yeah.
for all of you. And we have a special guest here, professional wrestler, the reinforcer, Mr. Andrew Anderson is here
What's
with
going
us
on,
tonight.
buddy? How are you, man?
Hey, how's it going, Andrew?
Excellent. I'm here in, right now I'm in Louisiana right now, and I'm in Grand Isle. I'm on the Gulf of Mexico, and I'm just hanging out, enjoying life.
Oh, perfect, man. You can't get much better than that.
Absolutely not. I'm getting ready. I got 3 shows this weekend. I got a few appearances. I got a show in Morgan City, Louisiana, Saturday at the Morgan City Auditorium, where I'm teaming with my TV dad, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and Mustang Mike. And then Saturday, that's on Saturday, 28th. On the 29th, I'm in White Castle, Louisiana for APW Action Packed Wrestling in White Castle, Louisiana, along with Greg Valentine and a couple others. And it's going to be a hell of a show.
Oh, that
Hell of
sounds
a, hell of a, hell
great.
of a weekend.
Yeah, great weekend. Action-packed wrestling weekend, and I gotta tell you, I've done a lot of these episodes. Actually, tonight you're episode number 128 of this podcast, and I know we've been trying for a while. I'm glad that our schedules finally synced up, and we got you here. And
Yes, sir.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the beginning of your career. You know, when everything started. How did everything come about for you?
Well, I'm obviously I'm related to the Andersons. None of the Andersons are actually Andersons, but I was related to Ole Anderson, and nobody in my family wanted me to become a wrestler. They wanted me to become a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, whatever you want to say. So eventually, down the road, I was working as an investment banker in Manhattan, and I was working as a bouncer at night to meet girls. And what happened was that Jimmy Superfly Snuka happened to be walking in, and when Jimmy Snuka was walking into the bar, I was throwing a 6'7" guy out in a fireman carry out of the bar, and Jimmy looked over to me and said, "Brother, I want to talk to you." And it was history from there on in. I trained with Jimmy. I carried his bags for about 6 months. Got thrown into the ring impromptu in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Wrestled Jimmy that night, and then he sent me to Kowalski School, which was way too far for me to go in. So I went to East Coast Professional Wrestling up in Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey. Trained with Gino Caruso, Kodiak Bear, and mostly with Jimmy Snuka. And then eventually I broke in with Nikolai Volkov as when Boris Sukov quit wrestling, and I became the next Bolshevik with Nikolai, and we wrestled on the circuit for a while as the new Bolsheviks, and I was the Siberian Tiger back then, because nobody wanted me to be an Anderson or nobody wanted me to be a Valentine. So, even though Greg and I look like father and son, it's been history since. Eventually, I changed the name to the Reinforcer, Andrew Anderson. Mikey Nova from Hollywood Supernova from ECW and WWE fame. Mike changed my name to Andrew Anderson. Said, "Call yourself Andrew Anderson." My real name actually is Andrew, and so I became the new Double A, and Arn was already well retired. I got the blessings of Ole at this point, and Arn didn't seem to care, and Warren Wrestling was Andrew Anderson on the circuit in Japan and everywhere else, and Hawaiian Island Wrestling Federation all the way on, and it's been a 25-year career, and it's been pretty fucking good, man, if you ask me.
Oh, definitely. It sounds like you got a great story there. Especially coming from a professional wrestling family such as the Andersons. I mean, basically it was in your blood. You were born into this.
Technically, yes, but realistically, no. Nobody wanted me to wrestle, so you know.
Well, it sounds like you've done really well for yourself to this point.
Well, the business, it's been the business. The business is the business, and, we all love it so much, but in the meantime, okay, in the meantime, you going with him? No, 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 don't go. Tell him I'm doing a podcast. I'll be right off. All right, I'm going to take you with me. I'm doing a podcast. I'm taking you with me right now because my ride is ready to leave, and I'll do this interview as I'm walking to the we're doing a party right now. Actually, we're going to a party at a businessman here in Louisiana. So, but yeah, so everything's been really cool, man. I mean, now I'm involved in a lot of movies and TV shows. I'm in Gotham. I'm on upcoming episodes of Daredevil on Netflix.
Oh
So
wow!
I helped train Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler, and I was in that movie, The Wrestler. I was one of the few guys who auditioned for the role. So it's been a pretty cool ride, man, and I can't complain.
Now,
So,
how if you don't mind me asking, how did the whole film career come about when you were in pro wrestling? Was it something that you wanted to do? When you were wrestling, you're like, oh, let's try and see how things go in the film industry. How did that come
well, the
about?
film industry has stepped in shit, basically. I wound up getting involved in Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler. I actually auditioned for the role. I didn't actually see, most of the guys were from WXW, World Extreme Wrestling, because Alpha was doing the basic training for Mickey in The Wrestler, and I wound up I wound up actually teaching Mickey on the side along with an Israeli commando, and eventually I auditioned with Darren Aronofsky. I auditioned. Evan Ginsberg had me audition for the role, and I auditioned for it, and I got the role in The Wrestler. I was one of the guys who auditioned for it. So,
Oh, that's awesome. Um, as far as with your wrestling career here, if we want to talk a little bit about how everything was in the wrestling business, who was your first match against when you first stepped in the ring?
my first match was actually against Jimmy Superfly Snuka. My second match was against Gino Caruso, Mr. Italy. My third match was against the Barbarian.
Oh, that's a good lineup to start your career off.
Yep.
And as far as guys who you got to wrestle, all the way up over these past 25 years, who are some of the best guys that you worked with in the business, and who are some of the worst, like that were just
Well,
difficult?
I'll never say who the worst was, who the worst guys were. I mean, I'll always put people over. I mean, the best guy I've ever worked with, I think hands down the most underrated worker I've ever been in the ring with was Crowbar. I mean, WCW's Crowbar. Him and I killed it everywhere we went. At the Jimmy Snuka's 65th birthday bash, Bill Apter even said, me and Crowbar did a tables, ladders, and chairs match, and we totally killed it at the Edison. And I think it's at the Raritan Expo Center in Raritan, New Jersey. We tore it up, and I mean, I was one of those guys that they'd always put in with the older guys because I could take care of them, and could put in with the younger guys because I was able to go. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Barbarian, I always had great feuds with the Barbarian. Had a great feuds with, had a huge feud with Tito Santana that a lot of people don't realize. A massive feud with Tito Santana. I mean, I basically worked, you name him, I probably more than likely worked. I had a massive feud with Test when he first broke into the Indies. His first opponent was Vic Lee, and we wrestled every night for about 6 weeks. And Andrew Martin Test, God rest his soul, I mean, he was one, at the same time as him being one of the bigger names at the time when just getting off TV, wrestled him. He was also one of the nastiest individuals. He was very demeaning to a lot of people. And not to speak ill of his dead, but he was one of the not very nice people I met in my career.
Ah. And I actually saw a match on YouTube that I was very interested in, and I wanted to speak of this. I saw one of your matches on YouTube against, God rest his soul, Mr. Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Oh, Vader and I had a series of matches actually throughout the New York area, Brooklyn, New York, Orange County, New York, and everywhere we in. And when we wound up becoming friends, I mean, Leon was a guy who would take liberties with you if you didn't know what you were doing. once you realized you could handle yourself, Vader really had respect for you. So Vader and I wound up becoming a pretty good tag team in around 2014, 15, and 16, where we actually wrestled the Steiners every night. Right before Scott Steiner had his surgery on his shoulder, we wrestled them for a good majority of the time. And me and Vader were a pretty effective tag team. Two big 300-pounders, blasting people left and right. Of course, I did all the work and bumping, flying all over the place for Rick and Scott, but I was a younger guy, but it was a good time. Vader was a great guy, class act. A lot of people didn't like him, but I have nothing bad to say about him. As a matter of fact, I don't have anything bad to say about anybody, but did I say that? No, I would never say nothing bad about him. Oh, no. Does that keep the little hits I don't like?
Vader, I had the honor and privilege of meeting Vader at WrestleCon back in Orlando, Florida. He definitely was every bit of what you say. He was a class act and a stand-up guy.
Yeah, Vader's a great guy. You got guys that are really, really good, strong, tough guys, and Vader was one of them. So.
Yeah.
I even don't mind Honky. It's just that Roy is so bitter about everything. He's such a bitter individual and so obsessed with how much money everybody else is making that he should just keep his nose out of everyone's business and worry about what he's making on his own.
Yeah. Where were some of your favorite places to wrestle around the world in your 25-year career?
Hawaiian Island Wrestling Federation. Right now, my favorite place to wrestle is Louisiana, especially at the Morgan City Auditorium. And I love Texas. I love wrestling in Texas a lot. I love wrestling in Dallas Fort Worth area, Sherman, Texas, Wichita Falls, Texas, the state of Texas, and the state of Louisiana. Excuse me. I like two of my second homes, my home states. I'm from New Jersey, New York area, and it's a really, really they really accepted me into that fold, and it's just really pretty cool.
Oh, definitely. I got a couple more things for you, and then I'll let you go on and head on into your party.
Yep.
I know. I've been to WrestleCon many times because I was to 7 WrestleManias so far, and I actually saw you at a booth and at a table at WrestleCon with Greg the Hammer Valentine, and I know you mentioned in the beginning of the show that Greg the Hammer Valentine is basically like your wrestling dad. Can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with him?
Yeah, Greg has been like my second dad. I have 3 dads in the business. Jimmy Snuka is my pops. Jimmy Snuka broke me in the business. Kevin Sullivan is my papa. I call him Papa Smurf because he looks like Papa Smurf, and he's the one who taught me how to make money in the business, and the one who taught me how to laugh in the business and have longevity is Greg the Hammer Valentine. So he's my pop. So
I saw videos of Greg putting fans in the figure 4 leg lock.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, at WrestleCon in New Orleans, a few years ago, Greg was giving chops for $100. Not chops, figure 4s for $100, and I was chopping people for $75. So it was pretty cool.
Oh wow! Hey,
we had a line. We had a line around the building.
If you're at WrestleCon for WrestleMania 35 weekend, I'm gonna have to come and meet you.
Well, that's right in New Jersey, right in my backyard. So we'll be there. Yes, we will. Me and Greg will be there.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I'll have to come and pay you guys a visit and say hello.
So, I'm looking forward to it.
Out of everybody that you wrestled up until this point, Andrew.
I couldn't hear you, buddy. What'd you say?
Out of everybody that you've wrestled up until this point,
okay.
What is your dream match? Have you wrestled your dream match, or is there still an opponent out there that you haven't faced?
I'd say my dream match was a singles match against Scott Steiner. Me and Scott Steiner had fun. I thought, me and Scott, we've wrestled a bunch of times, and we got a mutual respect, and I think he thought I was just, another indie guy at the time. And when he realized that how, that I can actually go and take all these throws and give it back, it was a pretty cool thing, We had a really good matches, series of matches. And later on, I had a good series of matches with Vader, and eventually became my tag team partner against Steiner. So that was pretty cool. Obviously growing up, Jimmy Snuka was my idol. To meet him and have him train me was actually beyond phenomenal. And that was just amazing. So anytime I wrestled Jimmy, I wrestled Jimmy in excess of 100 times, and to me, every time in the ring, it was just great. Jimmy was, golden to me. He was a gentleman and a scholar. Even though some people say he was illiterate. Maybe he couldn't read and write as well as most. But he was a gentleman, always a professional, and he was just, like a dad to me. So God rest his soul. Jimmy got a bad rap towards the end. People were trying to reopen a case on a sick and dying old man who was suffering from cancer and early onset of Alzheimer's. But Jimmy was a saint to me. So, and he could do no wrong in my eyes. So.
Yeah, it's a shame what happened with Jimmy at the end. I felt bad for him there.
But hey, brother, we just pulled into the party right now. So I don't want to cut this short on you, but feel free to call me next week and we'll do another interview. How's that?
Yeah, I'd love to have you back on. That sounds great. And then as far as this interview, would you like me to send it to you through your Facebook Messenger and put it on your wall?
Yeah, send it through Messenger and I'll post it on my wall, okay?
All right, sounds perfect. And then I'll get a hold of you next week, and then hopefully we can get you back on again.
Excellent. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, you're welcome. Anytime, Andrew.
All right, my friend. See you soon.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys, there you go. See, we heard a few quick, good stories from Mr. Andrew Anderson, and see he's interested in coming back next week. And we were actually talking before we came on air, and we were talking about him coming back on a return show, and it seems like he wants to try to come on next week. So, hey, that sounds awesome. So he gave us a little taste of basically what a longer show could be in the future, and I'm looking forward to it. Andrew's a great guest. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick show with actually we got about, I would say, 4 really good stories. Maybe even a little more. I don't know how many topics we covered, but we covered a lot in this 20 minutes that we've been on. And I gotta tell you, Andrew's a great interview. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you leave your likes and all that good stuff and show support for the show. And thank you so very much to Mr. Andrew Anderson coming on, the Reinforcer, and look forward to having him back on here very soon. And that's going to be it for this portion of the show, guys. So, what we had for you here tonight, this was episode number 128 of the Beyond the Ring with Big T Wrestling podcast. For today is Wednesday, July 25th, 2018. And as far as what I got left for you guys tonight, I'll be back on in a little bit, maybe in about an hour or so. Come on and do the NXT review with you guys, and then I got my news and rumors report for news and rumors throughout the week, so we'll talk about that. And this was like a little bonus show for you guys. Lisa's in here. She said she's here listening, and she says, Andrew's at a party. Nice. Yeah, Andrew's at a party, and I really appreciate Andrew, working with me and squeezing me in tonight, and, trying to get on the show. I really appreciate it, and the fact that he wants to come back on. I'm so excited for it. It was a great little interview, and we'll talk more stories about Andrew's wrestling career and his film career. We'll tell some more great stories, but this was a great show, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And Lisa, thank you for coming on in here and listening. And anybody else that's here listening, leave your likes and show support. And we're going to have the Reinforcer, Andrew Anderson, back on very soon. Hopefully next week, guys. And Lisa says, I love parties. Yeah, it sounded like Andrew was having fun, and I really appreciate him even, walking into a party and, to be on here and do this interview and do it with me and giving me his time. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Andrew, so very much. and we look forward to having you back soon. And everybody here, guys, thank you for coming on and showing your love and support for the show as always. I appreciate it, and I love you all. And as always, guys, one more big thank you to Mr. Andy Anderson for being here tonight, and I'll see you guys soon with a couple other shows that I got planned for tonight. And as always, guys, I'm your host, Big T, and I will see you at the matches. Good night, everybody.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
Lisa says, enjoyed this interview. He gave you time during being at a party. That's for sure, Lisa. He did a great job at it, and I greatly appreciate it. So, thank you, Mr. Andrew Anderson, again. I really appreciate it. And awesome interview. And like I said, Lisa, thank you again for being here and listening with us tonight. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit later, and we'll have some more fun as I review NXT and give you guys a good news and rumors report as well. So, like I said, take care, guys. I'll talk to you all in a little bit. I'm your host, Big T, and I will see you at the matches. And this has been episode number 128 of the Beyond the Ring with Big T Wrestling Podcast for Wednesday, July 25th, 2018. And we'll talk to you all very soon. Good night, everybody.